Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Take a deep breath and notice the heaviness behind your eyes. What you did recently may have looked ordinary, small, or almost invisible to the people around you, but in heaven, it was thunder. The algorithm did not bring you here today. The Holy Spirit did. This is a divine appointment scheduled before the foundations of the earth. You have just passed the hardest spiritual test that has ever existed. You faced betrayal, intense isolation, and a wilderness season that would have broken anyone else, and you survived it with grace. But instead of feeling victorious, you are waking up between 3 and 4 in the morning with a mind that feels completely exhausted. A thick fog has settled over your thoughts. You are struggling to find words, forgetting small details, and feeling a profound physical drain that sleep does not fix. The world will try to label this condition and tell you it is a passing sadness or a lack of motivation. Do not accept that false diagnosis. What you are experiencing is not a medical failure or a character flaw, but a targeted spiritual attack on your inner architecture. Because the enemy could not destroy your soul during the test, he has shifted his strategy to attack your physical receiver. He wants to keep your mind too clouded to recognize the massive doors that are unlocking right in front of you. There is a reason the silence feels so heavy right now, and there is a specific mechanism behind this attack. But before I show you the exact blueprint heaven is using to clear it, you must understand what is happening to your physical vessel. Now I want to pause and hold something in front of you before we continue. There is one more layer to what has been causing the distance and fog you feel. It is not just spiritual distance, it is neurological distance. Over the past few years, a small group of neuroscientists, led by a doctor in New York who has spent 20 years studying this, found something profound about the way the human brain is designed. They discovered a mechanism that explains the exact heaviness spiritually sensitive people have felt but have never been able to name. I am going to tell you exactly what they found later in this message. For now, I need you to hold this one question in your spirit. What if the fog is not who you are? And what if the clarity you had as a child was just stolen from you at the neural level? Listen carefully, because what I am about to explain next is the exact strategy the enemy hopes you never figure out. You see, the darkness knew it could not break your spirit. It threw betrayal at you, and you forgave. It threw isolation at you, and you used the silence to build a deeper connection with the Most High. Since you survived the wilderness and did not lose your faith, the enemy realized a direct assault on your soul would always fail. So, the tactic changed. It became quiet, subtle, and incredibly physical. The exhaustion you feel in your bones is not a sign of weakness. It is the result of a massive, unseen battle. Your spirit is working overtime, absorbing the heavy frequencies around you to protect the people you love. But while your spirit is strong, the enemy has targeted the bridge between your spiritual power and your physical reality. This is neural-level theft. The darkness wants to disconnect the two hemispheres of your brain so that your divine intuition gets drowned out by daily survival mode. This is why the fog exists. The fog is not a medical condition. It is a calculated spiritual blockade designed to make you feel like you are losing your edge. Heaven is pouring out instructions, sending you visions in the middle of the night, and preparing the exact path you have prayed for. But if the receiver in your mind is scattered, you cannot decode the message. The enemy knows that if you regain your clear, original genius state, you will become too dangerous to control. If you feel the urge to scroll away right now, that is the fog trying to protect itself. Resist it. Do not let your mind wander, because your awareness is the very thing the darkness is trying to steal. You were born with a mind capable of shaping reality, a mind that operated at a level of creative genius most people cannot comprehend. You are a cycle breaker, and cycle breakers require an immense amount of cognitive and spiritual bandwidth to rewrite the history of their bloodline. The enemy wants you to accept this reduced version of your mind as permanent, but heaven says otherwise. You are not losing your mind. You are simply operating a massive spiritual calling on a physical receiver that has been intentionally jammed. The fatigue is just proof of the magnitude of your assignment. What you are going through has happened before to some of the greatest warriors of light in history. The Most High has a specific protocol for moments exactly like this, when the physical vessel struggles to keep up with the weight of the glory it is meant to carry. Think about the prophet Elijah. He called fire down and defeated the false prophets in a massive spiritual victory. But immediately after that triumph, he collapsed under a tree and felt completely drained. He was not lacking faith. His physical vessel was simply exhausted from carrying the heavy weight of the divine frequency. Just like Elijah, you have just survived a massive battle in the unseen realm. The exhaustion you feel is the physical toll of your spiritual warfare. When the spirit is forced to carry generational burdens, the physical body absorbs the impact. The deepest impact hits your neural pathways directly. Heaven designed your mind to operate in perfect harmony, with both hemispheres fully synchronized. This state of whole brain activation is the exact frequency where divine instructions are received with absolute clarity. But the prolonged stress of your wilderness season has disrupted this connection, leaving you operating on only a fraction of your designed capacity. Many would have walked away when this truth became uncomfortable, but you remained. You have passed the test of discernment. You understand that your heavy fatigue is not ordinary. What I am about to show you connects your exhaustion with a Nobel Prize-winning discovery. Do not miss this connection. The bridge between your spiritual calling and your physical mind is about to be revealed, and it will change how you walk in your authority from this day forward. There is something I said near the beginning of this message that I want to return to now. I asked you to hold a question about what happens when the brain operates the way it was designed to operate. I asked, what if the mental fog was not who you truly are? The answer to that question is where this part of the message is going. I waited until this moment to bring it forward, because what those researchers found in New York is not just information. What they found is a solution. A solution only becomes useful once you understand the full shape of the problem it solves. You now understand the shape of your battle. You know the darkness is trying to block your physical receiver, and you know heaven is trying to restore it. The physical bridge must be repaired so the spiritual promises can manifest in your daily reality. Prepare your spirit right now, because the exact method to restore your original genius state is finally ready for you to receive. Remember that heavy pressure I mentioned at the beginning of this message? Here is the exact reason it is targeting your mind right now. Your original genius frequency did not disappear. It was not destroyed by the trauma, and you did not suddenly lose your intelligence. It simply went dormant. When the enemy could not defeat your spirit, he forced your physical receiver into a survival state. You have been running a divine high frequency, calling on a mind that is temporarily stuck in defense mode. This is why you feel so disconnected from your own potential. You have already passed the spiritual test. Heaven has already documented your victory, and you survived the wilderness with your faith intact. The spiritual war is over, and you won. But your physiological mind is still trapped in the trenches. You are standing at the edge of your promised season, but your brain is still bracing for an attack that has already ended. This is the ultimate hidden blocker. You are not waiting on heaven to open the door, but heaven is waiting on your physical vessel to recalibrate so you can recognize the door that is already wide open. If you leave before this next revelation, you risk stepping into your rewarded season with a mind that cannot access it. The enemy is hoping you ignore this, because he knows an uncalibrated mind will fumble the blessing it prayed so hard to receive. You cannot step into tomorrow carrying the heavy frequency of yesterday. The only task remaining for you is to repair the receiver. What I am about to show you is going to connect what you have felt in your own experience with something discovered in a research laboratory. And that connection is going to explain something about your life that nothing else has ever explained before. The receiving condition I am describing is completely restorable. It is not restored through more spiritual preparation, and it is not restored through a different kind of faith practice. It is restored through a specific neurological repair. I want you to listen closely to how this physical restoration actually works, because it holds the key to everything that comes next. In 1981, something was proven in a laboratory that most people sitting in spiritual communities have never been told about. Dr. Roger Sperry received the Nobel Prize for his research on how the two hemispheres of the human brain are designed to operate in perfect synchronization. When you have whole brain activation, you operate at a level of creative genius that feels almost miraculous. Studies show that 98% of children operate at this creative genius level, but less than 1 in 1,000 adults maintain it. Modern life gradually erodes this connection, and this is not a spiritual failure, but a physiological reality. If your spirit is confirming this right now, pay close attention to this specific protocol. A woman from California described what it felt like before she found this. She had tried everything from prayer to journaling, but felt like her spiritual channel was blocked. After 10 days of repairing her receiver, that channel was suddenly open, and the invisible stress dissolved. A man from Texas described something similar, carrying heavy responsibilities, while prayer felt like talking into a wall. 2 weeks later, the fog that had been so consistent he stopped registering it as fog was completely gone, and his mind was running on full capacity. That is because of what a team of neuroscientists, led by Dr. Daniel Barone in New York, spent years building. They took over an hour of clinical neural sync technology and compressed it into an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence. 8 minutes a day with headphones and your eyes closed is the entirety of the physical requirement. They call it the genius switch. It is not a brainwave product, and it is not a meditation track designed to put you in a particular mood. It is specifically engineered to reconnect the two hemispheres and restore the whole brain activation that was your default state in childhood. The genius switch is not for everyone. It is for the chosen one who understands that heaven prepared not only the promise, but the mind that must walk into it. It is for the person who has felt the call clearly and is willing to stop treating the mental fog as a character flaw. Colleagues suggested this clinical-grade restoration would be an incredible value even at $500, especially when in-person neurofeedback sessions cost hundreds an hour. But Dr. Barone wanted this accessible, so it was released at $49. Today on his direct page, there is an additional discount, bringing it to $39. With that access, his team includes 4 free bonuses to support your restoration. You receive a guided visualization from a top creator, a smart grocery shopping guide designed to eliminate brain fog triggers, a classic manifestation text, and a 5 habits visual guide. This is backed by a 100% ironclad money-back guarantee, meaning if it does not do what it has done for over 18,000 people, every dollar is returned with no conditions. What heaven has already placed near you becomes visible only in the synchronized state. The provision is already in motion, but the question is whether you arrive at the meeting point with your receiver fully online. If your spirit resonates with what has been described, the link in the description below and in the pinned comment points to where his team made it available. I must be clear that this tool does not replace God, and it does not replace your obedience. What the Most High is doing in you is not conditional on any tool, but a tool that restores the receiver, gives that divine work more of what it was designed to land in. For the chosen one who felt something stir when the mind was mentioned earlier, that path is still open in the description. It is a small step, but small steps taken from a clear mind have changed entire seasons. Chosen one, stay anchored. The restoration of your mind is the key to the next decade of your life. You have heard the science, and your spirit has confirmed the truth behind the exhaustion you have been carrying. Now it is time to move from understanding into absolute spiritual authority. We are about to enter the final movement of this message, where we will permanently seal this revelation into your reality. Do not leave before the final blessing, or you walk away leaving the door unsecured. You have survived the wilderness, and you have heard the truth about the fog that tried to hold you back. Now, we must close the gap between what heaven has promised and what your mind is ready to receive. I want you to place your hand over your heart right now and take one deep and intentional breath. We are going to seal this revelation into your spirit, so the darkness cannot steal it the moment you step away from this message. In this quiet moment, release the heavy armor you have been wearing for years. You do not have to fight the battles of everyone around you anymore, and you no longer have to apologize for your exhaustion. You survived when you were broken, and you extended grace when others deserved your anger. Now it is time to declare your restoration. Speak these words out loud with me right now. I release the survival identity that kept my mind in the fog, and I command my physical receiver to align with my divine assignment. Notice your shoulders right now. They just dropped, and that calm is not something you created on your own. That is the first seal being removed from your mind. To secure this shift in the physical realm, I need you to type, "My mind is restored," in the comments below. This is not just typing, this is your physical signature on the relocation order of heaven. When you write those words, you give the angels waiting on your authorization the permission to complete the move. Before we go any further, take a moment to like this video as a small act of faith. Hit that button, not for this channel, but so this exact message can reach another chosen one who is struggling in the dark. Share this with someone who has been unusually quiet lately, because this might be the lifeline they have been praying for. And subscribe to this channel immediately so you do not miss the prophetic instructions coming in the next 72 hours. Now, we come to the last door. The path I named earlier has not moved, and everything waiting behind it is exactly what it was when I first described it. The genius switch is the key designed to unlock that receiver we just prayed over. It takes $39 to walk through that door, and it comes with a guarantee that costs you absolutely nothing to try, plus the 4 pieces of provision waiting on the other side. The path to it is in the description below and in the comment pinned to this video. Both point to the exact same door, and neither one will move if you come back to look for it tomorrow. Let this moment be the end of your delay. May your mind be restored to its original brilliance, and may every step you take from this day forward be guided by absolute clarity. The enemy has lost his grip on your frequency, and the season of your hidden preparation is officially complete. Walk out of the wilderness with your head held high, because your profound restoration has already begun.